zona norte do Rio de Janeiro. Parada obrigatória de grandes nomes gringos do UFC, como Alan Belcher, Chris Camozzi, Anthony Pettis e Scott Jorgensen. O americano peso-galo do Ultimate está aqui no país pela terceira vez, só para afiar o seu jiu-jitsu com os irmãos Moraes e companhia. Uma parceria que parece ter muito pela frente.
O Scott já é um cara da família, né? Pô, meu irmão, vem aqui, fica lá em casa, eu vou pra lá, fico na casa dele, pô, amo o filho dele, já tem uma relação muito boa, já passou até do profissionalismo, né? Já virou uma amizade mesmo. E ele sabe da importância de estar focando o jiu-jitsu. E eu acredito, né? A gente sabe, né, que o jiu-jitsu brasileiro é o melhor, e aqui na Team Moraes a gente pode oferecer essa excelência na parte de chão para essa galera.
Scott, it's the third time you come to Brazil just to train with Team Moraes. What's so special about this team that makes you come all the way here?
You know, they make me feel like it's home. You know, Diego's been such a, you know, not just a great coach to me, but he's been a great friend, you know, and always inviting me down. So when I come here, it's like being at home. I'm able to focus on training. You know, it's the karaoke lifestyle, and, you know, just kind of it's laid back, and I can focus on training, relax, not have to worry about much else except, you know, Diego tells me what my workouts are, and that's it. So, you know, I get better and have fun at the same time. So
I know that you love feijoada, right? What are the other things in Brazil you love the most other than that?
You know, besides just the laid back kind of the atmosphere and the way that people are, you know, it's I love the food. Açaí, the feijoada, you know, guaravita, guaraviton, the agua de coco. You know, I love all that stuff. You know, the sights are wonderful. You know, getting to go to the beach, and, you know, I went to the Pau de Açúcar this trip, and, you know, the Christ last time, and so it's just fun. It's a good training environment. You know, everyone down here is, you know, willing to help me out, but they're also very, very tough kids. So.
I heard that you played a little altinha, right, in very carioca style.
Yeah, we were over in Leblon at the beach there, and they introduced me to altinha. I got to play some of that. You know, hang out on the beach for a few hours, and then we went and watched some soccer. And
were you good at it?
I think I was okay. I got some practice.
Just okay. Scott, your last fight was against your former training partner and your friend, Uriah Faber. How did you feel about it, fighting a friend?
I'm fine with fighting a friend. I grew up doing it. Wrestling in the United States, you know, I wrestled my best friends all the time, you know, in practice every single day, or, you know, in tournaments. I'd see them in tournaments and have to compete against them. And so fighting Uriah was, you know, it's normal for me, I guess. But, you know, Uriah and I knew the day would come. We're both two of the best fighters in the world. We both wanted it for a big fight. We wanted to fight each other for a title. But, you know, fighting main event of the tough finale was good enough. We got in there, we took care of business. You know, he walked away victorious that night. But, you know, it was a close fight. It was a fun fight. And, you know, like he and I both said, you know, we want a rematch. Hopefully fight again for the title one day soon. So.
Talking about this fight, it was the first time you were submitted in your entire career, ever. How was this feeling for you? What is the most important lesson you learned from that?
It's the most frustrating thing in the world. You know, I felt I had turned the fight in my favor. You know, I had weathered his early storm, which we knew we'd have to do, but, you know, as the fight grew on, carried on, you know, I got stronger, like I always do, and so, you know, that I was doing well. You know, he took me down, and I grabbed the wrong hand. I made one small mental mistake, you know, and so the biggest thing, I got to stay sharp, you know, which means more drilling in the practice room and training. I got to drill more, go through my techniques every single time, just like I want to do it in a fight, because I grabbed the wrong hand for 1 second, and he was able to get the choke. And, you know, I defended that choke twice in the first round. You know, his guillotines, his go-to moves, I stopped. But, you know, this one time I grabbed the wrong hand, and he went for it, and he got the choke. So.
I know that you're feeling more and more comfortable about your jiu-jitsu, your ground game. Is that a reason why you come here to Team Moraes to practice more and more and more, and now
getting sharper and sharper?
Yeah. Also, with my wrestling background, I mean, on paper, and if you look at our credentials in the UFC, I have the highest credentials in wrestling, and I was a better wrestler than everybody was in my division. And the only problem is I learned how to throw punches and kicks, and I like to bang. I like to get in there and fight hard, fight dirty, and fight rough. And you know, I got away from my wrestling, but that's something that, you know, coming back down here reminds me that I need to focus on, because if I'm able to take a guy down and utilize the jiu-jitsu I'm learning, I'll beat guys, and I'll beat the best in the world with it. The problem is I just gotta sometimes forget that I know how to throw punches and start dragging guys to the ground, because something about it. I grew up wrestling, but I love to stand there, and I love to stand and trade and throw punches so you can hit me as hard as they can. I'm going to hit you back as hard as I can. So, but being down here at Team Moraes reminds me that, you know, if I want to be the best, I've got to utilize everything. And I'm one of the best wrestlers in the division, and I got to use it more.
You don't have anything scheduled right now, you know, your next fight, but who do you think would be a good fight for you next?
You know, I've never picked opponents because I don't really care who I fight, as long as it makes sense. Right now, I fully expect to fight someone inside the top 10, you know, top 5, you know, and I guess I just got to kind of wait for the UFC to see what shakes out with the division, you know, and see what happens in the next few fights. I know Barral went down, so Wineland's sitting there. I don't know what they did with Wineland. You know, Uriah, I just fought Uriah. I don't know who he's going to have next. You know, Brad Pickett is up there. I've already fought Brad. I'd love to fight him again. Doesn't matter. But, I mean, I just want us to keep fighting the best in the world. You know, the thing about fighting Uriah was that we're two of the best in the world, and that was it. That's why I took that fight.
Scott vai embora para os Estados Unidos, mas promete voltar sempre a Team Moraes. Parceria, amizade eternizada à tinta no corpo do lutador.
Bom, pessoal,